like in your car. And with the all-new Live Radio dial, it's easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love based on your location or favorite genre. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. That's money. Enter it now.
You got to get in to win. Go to ESPNAVL.com, and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls Studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy is live in the Ingalls studio. We're heard everywhere you go around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat for NFL Awards Day. We're going to be talking about basically superlatives, all those things, the offensive rookie of the year and the MVP discussion and all of those things today, along with all of the breaking news that is going to come in the coaching circuit. I mean, in the carousel here, Jeremy, are we seeing movement closer to jobs being had?
Yes.
Maybe.
Kinda.
I mean, we all know that, we're not going to hear anything about where Ben Johnson lands. So he may be the thing holding everything up.
I don't know that Ben Johnson's actually I mean, I know he's going to get a job. I just don't know which one.
Just which one he would be
because none of them
in.
make really good sense. I mean, right now I will say I have an opinion about who takes every single job.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben Johnson's not the answer on any of them. So what do we do now?
Is that because it's not a fit for him in your mind, or
I'm trying to put myself in Ben's mindset of, okay, I feel like I know where the Saints job is headed. I think.
Okay.
And it's not where I would have said even 2 or 3 days ago.
So it's not Aaron Glenn.
No, I have a funny feeling Aaron Glenn's going to be the next head coach of the Jets.
Ooh, okay.
And Mike McCarthy winds up with the Saints.
Huh, all right.
There is a rumor floating out there that if Aaron Rodgers plays, it will be with Mike McCarthy in New Orleans next year. So, Saints fans, you're on the clock.
Take luck.
Yeah, take luck, because as somebody that just got off this ride, I can tell you, it's going to spin you around until you puke in your shoes. But
so
that's a rumor that's trending around right now.
Yeah. All right, so next year we may not expect a competitive South again. Awesome. Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, look, Notorious B.I.G.'s already said if Mike McCarthy comes here, I'll no longer be a Saints fan. My question would be, all right, if Aaron Glenn is not there, who exactly do you feel good about? That's the problem I've had with all of these jobs. I look at the guys they're interviewing going, is that better than what you just fired? Because I'm not so sure that it is.
There's only one home run hire. And there's 6 jobs open. So it's hard.
Adam Schefter said today
there's not going to be a star for everybody.
Adam Schefter said today that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson are both getting jobs. I can narrow Aaron Glenn down to 2. He's either getting the Jets job or the Saints job. Ben, I can't narrow it down that way. Because, yeah, he's interviewed with the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Cowboys are being very enigmatic about what they're going to do. There is a rumor with the Jacksonville Jaguars that I believe I was the first person to report, and it does appear that my prognostication may be coming to pass. It's Robert Saleh.
Oh no!
You say, oh no, I don't think that's a terrible hire. Look, you know what I know definitively about Robert Saleh? You're not going to be able to manage the clock, but by golly, you're going to play defense at a rate that is a lot of fun to watch.
It's just one of those things that he's a great defensive coach. I just don't know that he's head coach. And, I mean, this is an upgrade for the Jacksonville Jaguars, isn't it?
He's an upgrade, yeah. I think Robert Saleh's a good coach, and I have a sneaking suspicion that Robert Saleh is going to get a head coaching job in this cycle.
Okay.
Look, everybody I talked to says he got that it was just a completely dirty deal that he got with the Jets, and they still think he's a really good candidate. He interviews really well. He's very impressive in the room. Look, I've met the guy more than once. I understand if you get him in a room and he starts talking football, I get how you fall in love with that.
Sure.
Especially when your other options are Kellen Moore and Todd Monken and Liam Cohen and Steve Spagnuolo. I get how you fall in love with that.
Wait. Rob Saleh is worse than Steve Spagnuolo?
No, I understand how you're falling in love with Robert Saleh when those are your other options.
Okay. I thought you were talking about them, like equating them as coaches, and I was thinking, I think Spags is ahead of him on that list, is he not?
Look, when last call comes around and you've got three potential options, one of them looks like Tank Spencer, one of them looks like me, and the other one's Katie Kankles. She's awful cute right now.
Katie, let's go.
Yeah, let's ride.
Yeah. So watching the coaching news here, Ben Johnson. There are many rumors out there. One rumor that I wanted to bring up to you, Jeremy, to see if you had heard the same thing or if we're being led down a path here, was that there is a lot of interest with Ben Johnson to the Las Vegas Raiders, and that the Raiders are interested in bringing in John Spytek, who is attached to Ben Johnson.
Yes.
So, is that the number one option for him
with the Raiders?
I mean, is he that closely tied to anybody? Because I haven't heard him mentioned with tied with a GM in any other search.
Well, you've also got to understand how all of these things have gone. All right, so I'm going to give you a little inside baseball on the Washington thing from last year. Do you know why Ben Johnson did not get the Washington Commanders job last year? I found this out yesterday. So
I only know because what was reported at the time.
Yeah, well, what was reported at the time is bullpucky.
That's why I say so. No,
so
I don't.
So what you're talking about is that he wanted like $15 million a year, wanted full control.
Yep.
That's not actually accurate. So what I have come to find out is what he told the brain trust of the Commanders was that he wanted to roll with Sam Howell. They didn't. That was a deal breaker for them.
Okay.
And they felt like his tie to North Carolina and his tie to all of the guys he wanted to bring in and how much autonomy he wanted over his staff was going to be a problem. And so they went another direction. Wound up being Dan Quinn, worked out just fine. Ben does want some say that's probably more than what you would get out of the average coordinator because he's waited his turn. The only spot that I see that lines up with that is the Raiders. The Saints don't make any sense. They never did make any sense. The Jets don't make any sense. They never did make any sense. The only two that, or three really, that ever made full sense were the Jaguars, the Bears, and the Raiders. Now, you boil down on what exactly that looks like. I can kill the Bears in 5 seconds. You have two guys that want full say in Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles, and they don't seem inclined to give that up. That's going to be a deal breaker for Ben.
Yes.
So now you're to the Jaguars and the Raiders, which is where I think he is right now. Shad Khan is so loyal to people he knows that anytime you get somebody he has familiarity with, it starts to skew his thought process. I have it on good authority that he has fallen in love with the idea of hiring Robert Saleh because it allows him to keep Trent Baalke. Saleh would come in, he would bring Mike LaFleur with him, who was his original offensive coordinator with the Jets, and they would basically just try to relaunch his – it would be like a blip with the Jets. He's going to have a lot of the same guys. Ulbrich would probably be his defensive coordinator. You would have a staff that looks a lot like what you had with the Jets. The difference is that you don't have Woody Johnson as the owner. Well, that really only leaves the Raiders. And the Raiders are in a position to just say, buddy, whatever you want, come get it.
Right. Within reason. Within reason, because you do. I mean,
what are they telling him?
I do feel like you at least have a voice in the building in Tom that may not make things so crazy. That's what I hope, anyway. It hasn't been proven that all-time greats are always, all-time great GMs or owners. But the hope has to be that Tom makes this not a laughingstock of the league.
Detroit fan man in the YouTube chat said, with Ben's infant children, I also think his wife and family would appreciate him hanging in Detroit for at least one more year. I don't necessarily disagree with what you just said. The only thing that I will tell you about that is that their grandfather lives within, I think, directly equidistant between where Tank and I are sitting right now.
Right.
Ben's from where we are sitting right now. He's from Asheville. And if you told me that he wanted to be closer to family, I wouldn't be shocked. That makes me think he probably prefers the Jaguars. Because that's the closest job to here.
Yes. Moving out the West Coast with, young children being that far away from grandparents might be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, and they've
Detroit,
and they've built a life in Detroit. He is not averse to coming back to Detroit. If he doesn't see a job that he likes, he'll pull his name out of all of it and just go back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's a different cat. We could do an hour-long podcast on all of the different things we know about Ben Johnson and how he is different than any coordinator you have ever come in contact with.
And he's a smart cat that knows the business, right? He's been around. He knows how this works. We've talked about this. We talked about this last year when he was up for jobs. He's not just jumping at any opportunity because it's an opportunity. He knows how to weed out the good opportunities from the bad opportunities. And if it is an opportunity that he cannot pass up, I believe the family's prepared for that.
Right?
Because they all know the game. By this time, you all know the game.
I mean, Ben's been doing this for quite some time.
Right. I mean, he's bounced around the league for, it's been 15 years he's been a coach.
He hadn't bounced that much.
2010?
I think your timing is roughly right, but he hasn't bounced. You said bounced around the league makes it sound like he's worked for 15 teams.
No, he hasn't. I'm just saying he's been in a few different places.
Do you know how many teams Ben's worked for in his life?
Well, I know he was in Miami, and we've got Detroit. Didn't he go to Washington for a while?
Nope.
No?
He was at Boston College as a GA. He was the tight ends coach for a year. He went to Miami, stayed there for 7 years, got fired by Brian Flores, then went to Detroit, and has been there ever since.
Really? I thought
this is not a guy that bounces around. That's not what he does. He's going to take a job with the intention of, I'm going to be there for a while.
Really? I thought there was a stop in between there.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, he's not going to be in Detroit much longer.
Well, maybe. I like you said, if he doesn't find an opportunity that he likes, he will go back.
But I'm not saying, I mean, for a year, okay, maybe. But we're going to do this. We're going to keep doing this until he gets the job that he wants, right? The job that fits him. It's going to come at some point soon. So it would be hard. Sure. It would be hard to say no. Right? If I was Ben, it would be real hard to say no to Tom Brady, especially if they're agreeing to giving me some control, putting me in the position with a GM that I'm comfortable with, a guy that I've worked with before. If it ends up being John Spytek, who's been in Tampa for 3 years, I think. Apparently he had a huge role in drafting this year's class. So with Bucky Irving and Jalen McMillan, that's where the hope is that he's going to bring some of that talent to the Las Vegas Raiders. Maybe not some of the other talent that the Bucs have, drafted over the last couple of years. All right, you said we have a super chat.
We do, and it steers into. I was trying to cut you off before you said exactly what you just said, but go ahead. It's fine.
Okay.
We
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Comes from Matthew Hoffman, who said, "Do we know exactly how much control Brady has in Las Vegas? Is he going to be able to sway opinions like coaching or draft decisions based on his ownership?" I can only tell you what I have been told, which is Mark Davis is deferring some of these decisions to Tom Brady, and he has a very loud voice in the room. Do I think he's going to be involved in draft decisions? No, I don't. And I shouldn't have said it that way. Do I think he's going to be making draft picks? No, I don't. He saw how that went with Bill, and you leave that up to the scouts. The thing about good NFL teams is that there is a division of labor. The draft guys handle the draft. The NFL guys handle free agency. The NFL guys handle pulling guys off practice squads and things like that because you have an innate knowledge of the guys that are in the league. One of the things that I don't think people understand is that you have scouts in the NFL that don't really know squat about the guys in the draft class. You also have scouts that don't really know much about what has happened to guys since they've been in the NFL. If you're a college scout, you know college players. You know them from when you scouted them the same way that I do. But are you really narrowing down on trying to make decisions of guys that are coming in? Not really. They'll ask your opinion from when you scouted the guy, but you don't have a great knowledge of that. Tom, from what I understand, wants the Raiders to be divvied up that way, that everybody has their job, everybody knows their job, everybody does their job. And that leads me to think that could be really attractive to Ben.
I would think that any type of control like that, especially any extra on top of what would be expected normally for a rookie head coach, is going to be very, very enticing. I just don't know that I would hitch my wagon to the Raiders. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400.
This is a story of
and we're clear.
The maintenance specialist for university housing. He knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Monster BTK, the latest installment of the critically acclaimed Monster franchise, exposes the chilling story of one of America's most infamous cases that shook Wichita, Kansas to its core.
When people said BTK, you think of a wild-eyed Manson-like character. What we didn't understand is he was the guy next door.
Listen to Monster BTK on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Monster BTK to start listening.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the tailgate.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shop.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and you can follow us everywhere on the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Getting closer and closer to the launch of NFLDraft.net.
Tank got his first look at the website today.
Oh, she's sweet. I do like it. It's going to be your one-stop shop, as they say in the business.
It's very user-friendly, and it's always good when you have a graphic designer build a website because they know ways to make it not take 400 years to load. That's beneficial. Not looking at anybody specifically, Walter Cherepinsky.
He said the name.
I did. Oh, I did. I know him, so I could do that. I'll see him in 2 weeks. If he were to get really angry, it's not like he couldn't take it up with me at the Senior
He couldn't
Bowl.
find you, no doubt.
We had a cocktail together last year at the Senior Bowl, and I told him, I was like, I get it. I understand having to make money on things. I totally understand that. Your website, I have the best internet connection. I have the best computers. I have the best, all of those things, because I am a graphic designer. It takes my computer 20 seconds to load your website.
It is a very difficult one. NFLDraft.net will not be that, though.
No, it's very streamlined. It ties directly into the Patreon. For those of you that don't know, I will be doing a morning show moving forward. That's one of the reasons that I've been at Mullet Manor here lately, and I will continue to be, is because it's really, it's not time prohibitive, but it's very time costly to have to uproot one studio and take it to the other. And with having to build out the website and all of the different things, my objective is the first podcast to be the Monday of the Senior Bowl. So that's 2 weeks from this past
2
Monday.
weeks away. Yes, I believe that is correct.
Which is wild. I can't believe I can't believe it's already been a year since we did this last year.
Yeah, it's been a wild year. A lot has happened.
Well, my liver's not ready for this. I mean,
if you treated it better the other months of the year, you wouldn't have so much.
Oh, let's put it this way.
Damn.
I was doing car bombs this time last year with a guy who we reference on this show a lot for breaking news. You can infer who that might be.
Yes.
I also was doing tequila shots adjacent to a guy that just got a job in the NFL as a head coach after he took a year off not as a head coach. Not saying directly who that was, but I think you can figure it out.
Yeah. Michael Meadows with a YouTube comment here. It's not a super chat, but I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was funny as I was scrolling through here. He says, I could see Jeremy as a head coach running up and down the sidelines and Tank's on his hip with the headphone cables reminding Jeremy of how many timeouts he has left.
Also, is Meadows saying
that's a great explanation of our relationship.
Is Meadows saying that you would be my get back coach?
Pretty much.
Jeremy can't be a head coach for one very simple reason. I say wordy dirds way too often. And this generation is so soft that I would make many of them cry. Because I am not the softer, gentler touch.
No, not at all. Yeah, it would be either that Jeremy, me reminding Jeremy of the timeouts, or more likely it would be Jeremy getting upset because the defense didn't do anything because I forgot one job. Send the signal in.
Yeah, one job. Hold up that sign with 4 random things on it.
I forgot.
We have a chart that has a picture.
I was actually sleeping on the bench.
It's got a picture of Kirby the Ghost, Timothy Oliphant, an arrow pointing left, and the DraftKings symbol. And we know what that means, but nobody else does.
Nobody else does. Nope. We're going to simplify all our signals. It's just going to be various AI pictures of Fat Baby Tank.
For sure. Every one of ours is Fat Baby Tank. Oh, there's a shtick there.
I like it. Do I have to wear multicolored shirts though, like the Coastal Carolina guys wear when we went down to the Myrtle Beach
Wiggles?
Bowl? They looked like the Wiggles. They had a red one, a yellow one, a green. Like they all had on color-coded shirts. They had tarps held up behind them so the players could see them. And every unit knows, like, the defensive line coach is the red-shirted coach, and the defensive backs coach is the yellow-shirted coach. Like, that was taking it to another level. I'd never seen that before.
I'd never seen them color-coded like that. That was different.
No, I've seen them use the backdrops. I've seen them use the signs. I just never seen your unit coaches are all wearing Wiggles colors. I hope they lost a bet in the locker room or something.
Michael Meadows says we should make the coaching signs for Sportsocracy breaks of what's coming up next.
Oh,
almost like we're playing Pictionary.
Right. You got to put it together. That wouldn't be bad.
Those would be so vulgar because I'd be the one making them. and you can't see them on FCC air, so I could do whatever I want. Oh boy.
Yeah, William Workman's got it. He says Tank would be running the book club over on the sideline.
For sure. He would be listening to A.J. Brown talk about something, and he just learned to expand his mind.
Exactly. We're all looking for a little higher elevation.
Hey, look, I've long said if either of the hosts of this show ever got recruited into a cult, I can promise you for damn sure it would not be me.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Tank being the guy that shows up one day and goes, man, I just met this guy at the mall, and he changed my life. He showed me this book that says I've been living wrong, and if I give him all of my money, he'll show me how to live it right.
I'm far too skeptical for that.
You're also far too cheap for that.
You said that book has all the answers? I'm not even going to ask how much, because I know the answers aren't in there. I've already been warned by Jeremy Green. All right, today is NFL Awards Day here in the Sportsocracy. Coming up after the break, we will begin awarding said awards. NFL MVP discussions, Rookie of the Year. Jeremy, you've created your own All-Pro team. Is that what I understand?
I did. I've got my own all-pro team. I've got my own all-rookie team.
Very nice. All right, so we will begin the award ceremonies up next right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
I can't breathe.
Winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher elevations where a wind advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshine at a high hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries can't be ruled out tomorrow night with a low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by A. American Electric.
For over 40 years, A. American Electric has been family-owned and operated right here in WNC. With 3 generations and over 100 dedicated teammates, they are powered to serve our community. Homes and businesses can trust A. American Electric. Visit a-americanelectric.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We're starting 2025 with insanely clean carpets from Zero Res. Call to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119. And when you mention ESPN Asheville, you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Rapid radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish.
I will gladly
try Babbel.
Test all of the drugs.
BEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
If you're looking
just to make sure they're safe.
Real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the areas that were hardest hit in those first hours. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com.
I am just perfectly refilled with cherry Dr. Peppers.
I'm chasing Jeremy around with monsters.
That would definitely be part of it. He'd have a Gatorade, one of those squirt Gatorade bottles full of nothing but zero sugar monsters.
Yes. All right, getting just a bit outside here. I know your favorite sport of all time to talk about is baseball. I do really get a kick out of minor league baseball promotions. They're always fun to me. And the Rumble Ponies of Binghamton, the New York Mets AA affiliate, has decided that this year, for 2 games, they are going to change their mascot or change their nickname, as teams often do these days. You know, the Asheville Hippies do this every now and then. The Asheville Tourists become the Asheville Hippies for a little while. 2 games this year, they're going to be the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys.
The what?
The Bathtub donkeys. They have a new logo that's made up for this special thing. It's a donkey in a bathtub scrubbing his back with a baseball bat. It's kind of cute. Got a little baseball shower cap on. The reason that they're naming it this, though, is that it does have some kind of meaning. Apparently, in Binghamton, there is a law on the books that says you can't have a donkey in a bathtub. You talk about useless legislation. Who thought, first off, what was the story that brought that about? Who complained that somebody had a donkey in a bathtub for there to be an ordinance against it?
In my head, it has something to do with Mitch McConnell, but I can't tell you which side, but I have a feeling he had some hand in that.
Why Mitch McConnell? Just because he's old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I was thinking, he's not from Binghamton, New York.
No.
Interesting. No. Yeah. So we go from the rumble ponies to the bathtub donkeys.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: if you think about current politicians in New York, AOC would be trying to give it $25,000. Kathy Hochul probably trying to drown it in the bathtub. Hakeem Jeffries would just bore it to death until it drowned itself. I could do this for a minute. Tank may do politics, but Jeremy pays attention too. We got a little scrowd out of going to the national championship game because, well, Notre Dame and Ohio State are not in our geographic footprint.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make a whole lot of sense for us to go down there for two teams that we don't actively cover. But I got curious of what that would have cost if we had done it. Tank, what do you think a high-level suite at the stadium we were just at?
Oh, good Lord.
What do you think it's the Gallagher level suite?
Did they smash watermelons on you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Level?
I saw Gallagher and immediately went Mary Catherine Gallagher or the guy that smashed fruit.
No, it's Gallagher, the comedian that smashes all the watermelons.
Want to see me smash some fruit? Sorry, I couldn't help it. Dave Chappelle.
Look,
Legend.
I would. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a great skit. Gallagher was never more popular.
No.
After Dave Chappelle did that.
No.
Good Lord, a suite. I could, for one game, for the national championship game, it's got to be $100,000 at least
for the whole suite, Gallagher level suite, and they are sold out. It's $250,000.
I was gonna say that, but I thought that would be too much.
It's $250,000. Now,
$250,000.
If you want to share a VIP suite ticket, you can get a ticket in a suite that you share for $7,500. And here's what that gets you. You get a ticket to the Champions Party on Sunday night. I don't even know what that means. You get to go to the playoff premium kickoff party before the game. VIP entrance to the stadium, which you and I were just in this stadium. It's probably the easiest one in America to get into.
Yeah, but maybe at the VIP you don't have to stand in line.
Maybe at the VIP you don't have to go up 14 ramps and 13 sets of stairs because they don't know what elevators are. Sorry. It's a great stadium, but that is my one complaint is, okay, just because it's inclined doesn't mean it's any less of a hike. You get catering. Yay. Which I'm assuming you're going to have. If they don't have Magic City wings, you did it wrong. Enjoy these and then go to the actual home of them after the game and have a good old time. You get a concierge service, so someone basically refills your catering. The opportunity for exclusive add-ons. I don't really know what that could possibly be.
That would be when you get to the suite, you can pay an extra $700 for a 12-pack of your favorite beer. That would be.
The beer is included in the suite, by the way.
That's what the premium add-ons would be, I imagine.
The beer's included in the suite.
Oh, okay.
You get 2 parking passes You spend that much money and you only get 2? Really?
Well, you only got one ticket, right? You just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't need more than. I don't know why you would need 2 parking places. I guess maybe if you're meeting at the stadium.
It's a good question.
With someone, I don't know.
And then the one that got me, the opportunity to purchase discounted gifts. You're telling me you're not giving me the free swag bag?
No.
I spent that much money, and you're gonna try to Carowinds me of for $20 you can have a picture of your experience. Really?
This is for another $100. You could have this nice T-shirt.
For $100 you can have a Ohio State colored T-shirt that says "I came to Atlanta and all I got was this stupid T-shirt."
Wah wah.
Wah wah.
That's a lot, man. Man, I wish I had a lot of money. I'd totally be in on all these things.
Oh, I would.
But I'm a poor man, and I have
wouldn't.
zero.
No, if I had a lot of money, trust me, there would be signs. I.e., I would have my own camel to take me from the truck to in the studio. I also would never drive a car again for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would hire a driver that would take me everywhere, and his name would have to be Linus.
Linus.
Or he would have to be willing to change his name to Linus. Legally.
Well, I mean, you could just legally.
No, legally. Yeah, no.
Wow,
this is your name. Because I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, you talk down to the help." No, that's his name. His name's Linus. And I would snap at him aggressively. Linus,
get the car, Linus.
Get the car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And today is NFL Awards Day. So where would you like to start here?
I don't care.
In the awards ceremony.
I would say the one that probably makes the most sense is Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to be referencing our friends at the Draft Network, other great NFL draft content fellers.
Mm-hmm.
They did a vote of their staff.
Okay.
And I'm going to reference that because some of it is completely insane.
Okay. So who is on the short list for Coach of the Year?
I chose 3 for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have to be referenced that we cannot use playoff success or failure in this.
Yes. So, I mean, Dan Quinn has to be on that list.
Dan Quinn was my 2.
Okay. Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell was my 1.
Yes. And then is it Dan Campbell?
Dan Campbell would have been my 4.
Mm-hmm.
With Coach of the Year, I really reward doing more with less. And so my 3 was Sean Payton.
Sean Payton. Okay.
But look, I don't really believe in what you did, and I think it was a lot of smoke and mirrors. But if you had told me the Denver Broncos played 17 Catholic schools, I would have said they couldn't have won 10 games.
Right. To me, Kevin O'Connell has to be the one in this scenario. I mean, there was no prognostication that this team was going to win 14 games in a regular season with Sam Darnold as their quarterback. In fact, I would have more believed that they went 0-4 and J.J. McCarthy had to become the quarterback because Sam Darnold's not good at football. He answered that question this year. He is good at football. And Kevin O'Connell, I mean, you can call it luck if you want to, but the fact that they won so many one-score games, I feel like that shows that he's a good coach.
Oh, by the way, this is a great time. I saw people in the YouTube chat really clamoring for more Sam Darnold talk. This is a good time to point out that a little birdie told me we're all overreacting to how much money Sam Darnold cost himself.
I imagine so.
He's still going to do just fine.
$40 million.
That is the number that I heard.
Yes.
Is he still up roughly 40?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get more than Baker, but teams are a little worried about the Daniel Jones thing.
The Daniel Jones thing.
Had one great year and then never looked even competent after that.
Well, yeah. But was Daniel Jones's one great year close to Sam's great year?
No.
It was not. So, I mean, I give him an edge in that scenario, but I understand where you're going. The same problem that I've had of 1 year, and you're going to tell me you're going to make the big bucks? Not for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Jones, his epic season, where they went 9-6-1, he had 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He threw for 3,200 yards.
2 years, $80 million. I think that's where I would be.
On Sam?
Yes.
You will not get Sam Darnold for that. Length isn't long enough.
Oh, well, then he's definitely out for me. If you want longer than that, I'm not committing.
No quarterback.
I'm not committing time to you.
No quarterback coming off a year like this where he made the Pro Bowl is going to settle for 2 years. They're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
He's 27 years old. He's looking for a commitment. I think it will probably be closer to 4 years. Now, the question is it with Kevin O'Connell, or does Kevin O'Connell look around? And this was something that was pointed out to me yesterday as well. Does Kevin O'Connell look around and go, well, I did that with Sam Darnold. What do you think I can do with a moldable rookie?
Right.
I hadn't thought of it that way, and that is intriguing. It's also a great way that a year from now we're talking about, hey, you remember when Kevin O'Connell was coach of the year? Yeah, because now he's the offensive coordinator of the Rams.
Right, because he got fired. It wouldn't be the first time something like that happened in sports. Coach of the year to being fired. Hell, we thought Brian Daboll was going to be there this year. But he got a little bit of a stay of execution.
Hey, I mean, sometimes you got to just protect a guy. We've got 2 Super Chats to get to.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Both of these steer into very much the same vein. The first one's from Soaring Eagle. Said, LOL, the Jaguars and the Cowboys have interest in Robert Saleh as their head coach, and he's the front runner for Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that in the beginning of the show. I don't think that's as untoward as everybody else does. Look, he was the coach of my team. Tank, his name got just drug by me routinely.
Yes. How many times late in a game did I hear you scream, God, I hate Rob Saleh. He is not an NFL coach. Not in these situations.
Yeah, he needs somebody that can manage the clock because he does not understand how clocks work.
Right.
But I don't think it's that bad. If you told me I had to hire Robert Saleh or Vance Joseph, I didn't think about that for real long.
Yeah, Rob's getting the nod.
Yeah, I didn't think about that for a real long time. If you tell me it's him or Steve Spagnuolo or Byron Leftwich or Pep Hamilton or Mike Kavka or Darren Rizzi, I can do this for a while. By the way, the Jets just interviewed Joe Witt, the they requested to interview Joe Witt, the defensive coordinator of the Commanders.
Was that number 18 on the interview list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would be number 15.
Oh, so close. So close. They just don't know where they're going to miss next.
Are the Jets trying to...
Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Here comes the money.
What I was going to say is I think the Jets are trying to interview as many coaches as the rest of the league combined.
Yes, no doubt. All right, Sir Jimothy with a super chat. Says, put Dallas on conversation probation until Jerry hires anyone but Dion. I have a feeling that he will hire himself as head coach because Jerry Jones. Hope he gets Joe Brady, but who knows with JJ.
I am very confused by what Dallas is doing. You are already late to the party, and you've requested no one. I mean, it's Saleh and Deion Sanders. That's the only 2 candidates that we know. I will tell you that the name that I keep hearing is Mike Zimmer. And I don't know that anything would ever be funnier.
Why would you go through all of this with Mike McCarthy and just hire a worse coach that was on that staff?
I don't know.
That makes zero sense.
I don't know why you're doing any of this. To be really now, look, Mike Zimmer. I'd love for him to be a head coach again. Because look, Mike Zimmer, he got that dog in him. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
He might bring a girlfriend.
Oh yeah, they're getting married.
Are they? Good for them.
I just saw that a few days ago. 68-year-old Mike Zimmer and his girlfriend that is a year older than I am.
Good for them. I'm impressed.
And he looks like Fievel's dad, which
I know. Which is why I thought that was for sure going to be over when he lost his head coaching job. Oh, wait, you're an assistant in the NFL now? Okay, no, we're done.
Good enough. I have no idea what Dallas is doing. And it's this process could take an obnoxiously long time.
Yep. All right, the NFL head coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell.
Do you have anybody else that you feel like needs to be mentioned there?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Sean McVay, which, yes, that was a team that we all thought, or you and I thought, was going to be a 4-win team at best, and the fact that he made the playoffs, he needs to be mentioned. I feel like Sean McVay did a hell of a job this year, rallying that team after they started out 1-4, getting through all of the injuries, and now he's got them in the playoffs. So we're not counting the playoff win, but I just saw it. I can't help it. Sean McVay has done a great job this year. Jim Harbaugh, I feel like he needs some platitudes for it being, first year back.
Jim Harbaugh would have been my 5. And I really didn't even consider anybody else. My 5 was my 5. Because, I mean, Sean McVay, I'm not surprised. Sorry, you're a victim of your own success.
Right.
I expect your teams to be good. I don't really care how talented you are. I know how good of a coach you are.
Yep. According to our friends over at the Vegas Insider, Coach of the Year odds right now, Kevin O'Connell's minus 1,000. That's how this thing's going.
I can't physically imagine it's going any other way. We only have a couple minutes here. Do you want to just hit comeback player of the year real quick? Because I don't see how it's anybody other than one specific one.
And then Sam Darnold.
Well, Sam doesn't technically qualify. Now, the funny thing is, if you're looking at odds right now, Sam Darnold, who does not qualify according to the metrics of what were disclosed by the AP, he's still the second most likely guy to win this.
Well, I mean, who votes on this?
The AP.
Can you tell the voters no? If the voters don't agree and they want to vote for Sam Darnold anyway, he had a headache last year at one point.
Yeah.
I don't care. Whatever you want to the dude deserves to be recognized as a comeback candidate.
Oh, for sure. I would be. This is why they'll never let me vote in media things, because I would just make something up. Like Sam had a sexual injury last year that he didn't disclose because he thought people would make fun of him. But he did pull a quad in the midst, in the throes, if you will. And you didn't know that because he didn't play, but he came back from that quite nicely, and that's why I voted for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it's an injury thing, then it's got to be Joe.
Joe Burrow is currently the favorite. Burrow is minus 270. Sam Darnold's plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know of another name to put on that list.
J.K. Dobbins is the third on the odds.
It's hard for me to look at a guy that's a comeback player of the year candidate that then proceeded to get hurt 3 more times.
Well, I mean, and he did have a better comeback season than anybody else, but really he's on the list because there's nobody else really to choose from.
J.K. Dobbins is the Los Angeles Chargers version of Kerryon Johnson. Yes, you're a phenomenal football player when you're on the field. The problem is you're not on the field very often.
Yes. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. NFL Awards Day continues after this.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official
Clear.
NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
It's just not normal, the pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it becomes your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and are living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints to get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics in Asheville and Greenville. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. Volunteer organizations may also be able to help. For more information or to schedule an inspection, call 1-800-621-FEMA. That's 1-800-621-3362. Again, FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. Call 1-800-621-3362.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
There will be gusty winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher elevations where a wind advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshine at a high hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high of 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries can't be ruled out tomorrow night with a low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's bow time. It's bow time. Bojangles has your morning craving covered with any of our classic made-from-scratch biscuits and a side of bow rounds for just $5. Cajun filet biscuit and bow rounds, $5. Sausage, egg, and cheese plus bow rounds, $5. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Are you displaced from your primary residence following Tropical Storm Helene? You may be eligible for moving and storage assistance for essential property. For more information, call 800-621-FEMA. That's 800-621-3362.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is
I'm here.
Well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Can you hear me?
On the Ingalls Studio, WPEK.
Are you there?
J Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this
Are you with me?
word on our website. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
You got to get in to win. Go. Do you need a promo here? Come and good luck.
The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it, back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of Massery, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. It's 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Here in the Asheville area. You can hear us everywhere you go around the world on the iHeart Radio app. Listen to us live or on demand. Also, you can see us live on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. So you can join us in the chat today. Crazy to me that even they think they're just going to be people who vote for Sam anyway. Like I said, I'd make something up. He had
By
the
way,
flu
if
once.
you're wondering where I keep
Oh,
going,
there he
there's
is.
something happening with your brick that it keeps kicking me off about every 13 seconds.
Oh,
So,
wonderful. Well,
yeah.
that's not fun.
If I had a wager, it's probably an engineer somewhere going, hey, let's reset this. For what reason, I don't know.
Who knows? Glad to have you back in on the
I could
discussion.
hear you. You just couldn't hear me.
Yeah. So anyhow, maybe most improved is the answer. Maybe we need to add one of those for next year. If we're going to do the comeback player of the year can only be an injured player, then maybe we need a most improved.
I'm good with the most improved.
Okay.
I will care absolutely nothing about comeback player of the year.
Well, I mean, it matters, doesn't it?
Not really. Not if you have a most improved, because that's what, to me, comeback player of the year is.
Yeah, or the guy who just got, destroyed last year and makes the comeback. Alex Smith comes to mind.
Okay, Alex Smith, I'll give you that one.
That
Do you
wouldn't
know
have
who's
been-
won this since? Joe Flacco, Geno Smith. Joe Burrow's actually already won it once.
Yeah, 'cause
Ryan
the first time.
Tannehill, Andrew Luck, Keenan Allen.
That's actually a pretty good mixture of most improved and injured guys.
Yeah, injured guys, I'm seeing Joe Burrow, Alex Smith, and Eric Berry. The rest of them, it's mainly most improved.
Yes. All right, maybe that is our compromise. We deem it so. There will be a comeback or a most improved player in the NFL. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about. All right, continuing with the individual awards here in the Sportsocracy. ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Offensive Player of the Year, that's not even a question. Correct?
Not for me. Because quarterbacks don't win that award.
It's got to be Saquon.
It's Saquon Barkley and an absolute dog walk. That's the reason I don't really give him much credence for MVP, because MVP is a quarterback award.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, if you had to fill out a top 5, who else would be there?
Derrick Henry.
He would be my 3.
And then it'd be the quarterbacks.
Well, I'm not putting a quarterback on my list.
Oh, you're not putting any quarterbacks?
My MVP is all quarterbacks. Offensive Player of the Year, I'm putting no quarterbacks.
Huh, okay. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson.
Chase would be my 2. Jefferson would not. He would not be in my top 5.
Okay. Am I forgetting an obvious one here?
I mean, you are to me, but it's really more of the team. You could choose either one of them or both of them if you really wanted to.
Okay.
Jahmyr Gibbs or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Ah. Okay. Yeah,
and then
Jahmyr
I would
Gibbs
give a little bit of love to Brock
Go
Bowers.
ahead. Brock Bowers. That's a good. I was thinking like Cook, James Cook. Didn't he score like 18 touchdowns this year?
He did. He didn't really have the yardage, though. I mean, he was up there, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it's almost hard for me to even put him in the top 5. Well, I got Jahmyr Gibbs up there, so yeah, I guess that math.
Yeah. I think James Cook would probably be my 5. Also receiving votes. James Cook for Offensive Player of the Year. But Saquon, with the year that he had.
Wow, I didn't realize how low James Cook was in yardage. He was the first running back to gain 1,000 yards.
Okay.
He had 1,009. Saquon Barkley had double the number of yards, minus 13.
Mm-hmm.
If you double James Cook and subtracted 13 yards, you're to Saquon Barkley.
Saquon he had that year, but Derrick Henry wasn't that far off from 2000.
1921.
I didn't realize how close he was to 2000.
Do you know how far behind 3 was?
Pretty far.
Bijan Robinson was 3 at 1456.
That's a sizable gap in yardage.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we had 3 running backs that had 16 touchdowns this year. Rushing touchdowns. Gibbs, Cook, and Derrick Henry all had 16 rushing touchdowns this year. But Saquon, far and away, Offensive Player of the Year.
He is for me, yes.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, where would you go for Defensive Player of the Year?
That one's harder because there's so many that I think you could give you could make the argument for.
Mm-hmm. Trey Hendrickson, how high is he on your list?
I feel like you have to punish him because the team wasn't that good, but he's still definitely up there. Myles Garrett, he and Myles Garrett to me are going to be, wherever one is, the other one's going to be one spot away.
Okay. Who else is on your list?
For me, it's a 2-horse race.
Mm-hmm.
It's either Pat Surtain or it's Kyle Hamilton.
Okay, why Kyle Hamilton?
Kyle Hamilton is what made that Baltimore Raven defense. They were not good defensively. They started shifting him around, and he's just a do everything.
Say that again.
I said the Baltimore defense was not particularly good. Then they shifted him around, and all of a sudden the defense got exponentially better. There's a great merit to that. And I think that's worthy of being on the list. I would still vote for Pat Surtain II. That would be my choice. But there are a lot of guys. You could convince me of Zach Bond here.
As the overall defensive player of the year for the league.
I think he deserves a vote.
Okay.
I definitely think he deserves a vote.
According to Vegas, top 5 in the Defensive Player of the Year odds. Patrick Surtain is on the list at plus 150. Myles Garrett, plus 950. None of the other guys we mentioned are in the top 5. The odds-on favorite is T.J. Watt.
Which is stupid.
At minus 130.
Which is dumb. Explain that to me in any tangible way. I can't wait to hear it.
Well, would that Pittsburgh defense be good without him, right? I guess it's the MVP argument of how good would they be without his, 11 sacks, constant disruptions.
They weren't good with him. The defense wasn't good with him. They were middle of the road. He had 6 forced fumbles. Outside of that, he did absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He was tied with Andrew Van Ginkel in sacks. He didn't register a stat for 3.5 games. Yes, sorry, that's not Defensive Player of the Year to me.
Interestingly enough, 4th on the odds list, Andrew Van Ginkel.
He would be others receiving votes for me, but he's definitely up there.
Plus 2,200, according to the old Vegas Insider. And then number 5 is Will Anderson Jr., and he's way back at plus 5,000.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it. I don't really understand him being that high because I could honestly say that Danielle Hunter was even better than him.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it the way I'll fight T.J. Watt because T.J. Watt's that's dumb. That's you're going off name exclusively.
Mm-hmm. Another double-digit sack season for T.J. Watt. And apparently the 6 forced fumbles was enough.
That's all he's got, which is, I mean, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Grenard's got 4 and got more sacks than T.J. Watt. What now?
Plus 10,000.
There's my point.
Yeah, Jonathan Grenard and Danielle Hunter at plus 10,000.
Nick Bonito at least needs to be mentioned.
Mm-hmm. He's tied with Trey Hendrickson at plus 6,600. And now we've done the top 10.
Huzzah.
Yes.
So Kyle Hamilton's not on the list at all.
Kyle Hamilton's nowhere on the list.
That's dumb. This is why we do things like this, because Kyle Hamilton probably would have been my 2.
Behind Patrick Surtain.
And I would have seriously considered him at 1.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is based on votes, though. A lot of people base these on stats. And if there are no stats, if there aren't sexy stats, then I don't feel like you get the push. Right? Did you lead the league in something? Usually is an indication of how high you're going to be on a list like this. Although that doesn't fit the narrative with T.J. Watt in any way. I mean, unless he leads the league in the forced fumbles. But I couldn't imagine that would put just anybody at the top of the list unless you had a name like he does. But there again, Trey Hendrickson with his 17.5 sacks, he's got pretty long odds to win it as well. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Did we lose you, Jeremy, again?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I was just waiting for you to do the reach. Yep, you tied that up nicely.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will continue with NFL Awards Day here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Coming up next.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. When dining out or shopping at the...
And you're clear.
Ask for sustainable seafood. By choosing sustainable seafood, you can help reduce overfishing, bycatch, loss of top predators, illegal
Thought you went dark again. I couldn't hear you.
impacts. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
At Haywood Regional Medical Center, your health means everything. In an emergency, every minute matters. Get to the hospital and get the care that you need as soon as possible. Haywood Regional's emergency department provides quality care, including advanced heart care at their accredited chest pain center. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your health is nothing to wait for. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying... just beautiful...
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford, Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks Community heroes, like Jeff and Chris.
When the MVP and then rookies.
Vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Like Daniel, a veteran.
We'll do the all-rookie team after the news, or after.
Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksford.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We are back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. I'm Tank Spencer, live in the Ingles studio. Jeremy Green, live at Mullet Manor. He'll be back in studio for tomorrow's program.
I will.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Are the snacks at home way better than the snacks available at the radio station? That's what we're on.
Of course,
of course they are.
I'm at my house. And I'm fat, so you can assume that I got a pantry full of.
He's got a treasure trove.
I have a big bag of Doritos sitting in front of me right now.
Weird, you got a big bag of Doritos sitting in front of your microphone in here, too.
It's because Doritos are awesome.
I'm going to find Jeremy strung out one day on Dorito dust.
It is good. If they sold that, I would totally buy it.
Would you?
Oh, yeah, and I'd put it on all kinds. Tacos? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And if you could buy it in the different flavors?
Oh, yeah. Throw that flaming hot Cool Ranch Dorito dust on a taco bowl. Let's go.
The sweet chili. That's the one I like.
It's good.
With sweet hot
Cool
chili.
Ranch is the OG. So anything with that is invariably better.
Right on. Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It is NFL Awards Day. Looking back on the regular season, who deserves what award? The Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell. No surprises there. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burr. Most Improved Player of the Year, the newest award that we're sponsoring for the NFL, Sammy D, MVP. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Saquon Barkley, and Defensive Player of the Year, we settled on Patrick Surtain.
That's where I'm going.
Now, does the discussion get more interesting for the rookies, or are these givens as well?
Well, I mean, Offensive Rookie of the Year should take us about 6 seconds.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, quarterback of the Washington Commanders. Oh, look, that was only 3.
He's the next one to have the best rookie quarterback season that we've seen in recent memory.
Brock Bowers would be my 2. Malik Neighbors would be my 3. Brian Thomas Jr. would be my 4. And you know what? I'm in a given mood. I'll throw Bo Nix my 5.
Ugh. No Lad McConkey.
I ran out of spots.
Dang it.
Didn't know Bucky Irving either.
Yeah, Bucky and both of those guys should be on the list before Bo Nix. But he's a quarterback, and I know how the system works. I know how it works.
And if you don't give him some kind of credence, then holy Lord have mercy.
The Orange Crush will come for you.
Young Native asked, why is Andy Reid not Coach of the Year? Same reason that Bill Belichick won 2 of them ever.
Mm-hmm.
When you have the best team in the league, we just kind of expect it. He deserves it every year. He ain't going to win it every year.
Yeah. I mean, this year he's got quite the he's got quite the argument in my opinion, because that's a team that really nobody fears other than him and Patrick.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is a year that he will get more votes than he usually does.
Yeah. You went 15-1 with a team that we thought was, you're still good, but are you as good as you usually are? And wins-wise, they were better than any team he's ever had. So Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Jaden Daniels. Pretty easy there. You got long odds on everybody else in Vegas. Daniels is a minus 1,000 favorite. Bowers is next at plus 3,000.
Jaden Daniels should be a minus 1 gajillion favorite.
There's also a big favorite for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
There shouldn't be, because I could make a case for 4 of them.
First is Jared Verse.
That would be Jared Verse would be my vote, but Quinyon Mitchell would be really close.
Mm-hmm.
Chop Robinson would not be far behind the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Edgerrin Cooper would be pretty close behind those 3.
Okay. Edgerrin Cooper. He went off the board again with the odds.
That's because, I watch. And, I mean, look, I know an off-ball linebacker is not winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Right.
But, I mean, if you watch that kid on tape, he might have been the best player on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a 3-horse race to me. Job Robinson will get some votes because he really came on at the end of the year. But it's between Verse and Quinyon Mitchell, and to me, I think it's a toss-up.
Yeah. The odds say Jared Verse minus 1,000 to win it.
Jared Verse has the same odds as Jaden Daniels. That's odd to me.
Quinion Mitchell is plus 700. So it's not as wide as a gap between the 1 and 2 for offensive rookie of the year, but it's still pretty sizable.
Well, I mean, for me that my two favorite defensive players in this last class were Jared Verse and Quinion Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's heavy is the head that wears the crown. I just find it funny.
Please tell me that was one of the ones that you may have or may not have put a shekel on at the beginning of the season, because I distinctly remember that coming out of your mouth before the season started.
Which part?
That Jared Verse would be one that you might consider putting some money on in the odds for defensive rookie of the year. I'm hoping.
All right, so let me. I can shut that one down for you. Every single year after we do the draft and those odds come out, anybody I was super fond of, you rest assured I've got something on it.
Good.
Now, Quinion Mitchell would actually be a bigger win for me because I had more on Quinion. Because I was thinking better team, and I thought maybe Verse starts slow. I'm not surprised we're here, though, that these are the two.
They are the two. And Jared Verse, rookie of the year. You said don't count playoffs, but, I mean, after he just scored the touchdown in the playoff game, I could sway some voting.
For sure.
And then the only thing we got left...
Well, I mean, it can't sway voting because the vote's already in.
The only thing we got left in is the MVP.
I'm not going to speak here. I want to see what you say because it's one of two guys.
It's either Jared. I almost called him Jared Allen again. I hadn't done that in a long time. It's either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. I'm just, I'm torn because you look at the stats and the stats say it should be Lamar.
Okay. In what regard?
In every regard.
You just said that blanketly. It should be Lamar.
Yeah, I mean, well, he leads every statistical category except for rushing touchdowns over Josh Allen. Completion percentage, passing yards per attempt, passing touchdowns, interceptions, rating, rushing yards, rushing per attempt. It's only the touchdowns that Josh Allen has the edge there. And it's by a lot. He's scored 8 more touchdowns on the ground than Lamar Jackson has, but he still doesn't have as many touchdowns total as Lamar does.
Do me a favor. Look at the score logs of both of those teams. How many 40-14, 35-10, 30-20, 31-10, 34-10, 47-10, 31-10? How many of those does Lamar Jackson have?
How many?
Oh, it's not many because all the ones I just read are Josh Allen. So let me get this straight. You're going to punish him because his team was routinely blowing out teams. Meanwhile, Lamar had an inability to close out games, which meant he kept throwing later than Josh Allen because they smoked the Bills. They smoked the Broncos. Other than that, their only smoke 'em wins are all against terrible teams.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's Josh Allen, and I wouldn't think about it twice. Because, all right, it's not best player. It's most valuable player. If you want it to be best player, that's fine. Name it that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If Lamar Jackson was not the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens and they trotted out, who's the backup there? Josh Johnson?
Yes.
Josh Johnson. Baltimore probably still makes the playoffs. Because I've struggled to believe that the Miami Dolphins or the Cincinnati Bengals, who couldn't stop anybody, were better than a team that was going to lean on Derrick Henry. If you don't believe me, go look at basically every year that Derrick Henry was with the Tennessee Titans.
Right.
If Josh Allen's not the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, how many games do they win?
Not many.
2.
Is that it?
I would go with 2.
Really?
What else do they do?
Well, it doesn't work without Josh. The step forward that the running game took this year, does that work with any quarterback?
Wait, say that again? I lost you there.
Joe Brady and his attention to having the running game more involved with James Cook this year was a big difference in how this team ran. Would they be able to do that as effectively without Josh Allen? No. So I think Josh Allen is more valuable in that sense, I guess. It's real close to me.
Josh Allen is the best player on the most overachieving team.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's a merit to Lamar's already got 2, and Josh Allen doesn't have 1. Should that be a merit? No. Is it? Absolutely.
Will it sway voters?
For sure.
Sure it will.
For sure. I'm going Josh Allen, and I didn't really think about it all that much.
Josh Allen was the best quarterback on the best team, record-wise, right? I know Baltimore beat them in the regular season. I get it. But Lamar also has more losses.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a factor when you're playing when you're factoring in who you're going to give the MVP nod to. I think all of those things play. This should be Josh Allen.
And here's my the other undying argument here.
Yeah.
All right, if it's just a statistical award, then Joe Burrow wins it. He was better than all of you. Had more touchdowns, threw for exponentially more yards. And Baker Mayfield should be in the top 5. Yeah, see, that's why it's a statistical award. That's where it falls apart to me.
Right.
It's most valuable player.
Right.
The most valuable player in the league was Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll talk about the best rookies at every position coming up after the break here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The all-rookie team by Flostradamus coming up next. Plus, we'll get weird.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner. What
clear
on ESPN Asheville.
There will be gusty winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher elevations where a wind advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshine at a high hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high of 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries can't be ruled out tomorrow night with a low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Our new and improved iHeartRadio app has made it even easier to enjoy the radio stations, podcasts, and playlists you love. How? Well, we've added everything you love about your car radio into the free iHeartRadio app. With easy-to-use presets, you can now save your favorite stations on the app, just like in your car. And with the all-new live radio dial, it's easier than ever to discover new stations you'll love based on your location or favorite genre. Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We're here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4 VICTIMS.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, and it's time to get weird. It's time to talk about one of the, this isn't the crime story of the day, but it is maybe one of the most important messages of the day. If you're out in public, maybe you got to go to the bathroom. Maybe you should just hold it. Maybe that is a good lesson everybody can learn. I mean, going from Jeremy's crime story yesterday with the woman in the Dollar General creating her diversion.
She had to go number 2.
Yeah. That's gross. Somehow I find this story grosser. So this has to do with a man who was caught on a surveillance video. He was caught relieving himself in public. But it was the location of which he chose to do this that is the most disturbing to me. He was doing it on the handrail of an escalator. That's the most diabolical thing I think you could possibly do. Right? Because you're ensuring that people are going to touch said thing that you have now soiled.
I'm not going to touch it because I don't use handrails.
You don't use handrails at all?
Nope. For that purpose, because I look at them and go, somebody's put something on that I don't want to touch. I'm good.
I see. I'm too trusting in people, I guess. It would never cross my mind that someone had done that to a handrail, because again, that's just evil. You got to go, but find a corner dark somewhere where nobody's there. Like, this is just disgusting. Thankfully, after he was caught on the tape, the police got a hold of it, and they tracked this guy down. I can only imagine what the punishment in Singapore is for urinating on a handrail.
Oh, in Singapore, you're not going to like it.
I guarantee it. It's the Men's Warehouse of judicial systems. You ain't going to like it. I guarantee it.
That was an interesting. Oh, it was the tagline. I was about to say, I've bought many suits at Men's Warehouse that were lovely.
No, it's the tagline. You ain't going to like it. I guarantee it. Singapore don't mess around. Or at least they didn't used to. And I hope they did something terrible to this person, because that is uncalled for. And the fact that there was like a bolo put out, a be on the lookout for the 41-year-old man who relieved himself on an escalator, or an escalator handrail at 10 p.m. on January the 10th. Thankfully, they did catch him. And he can no longer terrorize anyone else.
My story, Tank, what goes hand in hand with the Super Bowl? It's not just
chicken
football.
wings.
Oh, yeah, chicken wings. What else do we get around the Super Bowl that get a lot of people talking the day after the game?
Commercials.
The commercials. Well, Coors Light, they have a new ad campaign that just started on Monday. And it was targeted as a targeted ad campaign leading up to next month's Super Bowl. It went into print. It went on billboards. Namely, it went on a gigantic electronic billboard in Times Square. It's a can, the Coors Light can. Everybody knows it. Got the Rockies, got the Blue Mountains because it's cold.
Yeah.
And it said Mountain Cold Refreshment. Very simple.
Yes.
Tank, spell the word refreshment.
REFRESHMENT.
You are officially better this week than the ad campaign creators of the Molson Coors Beverage Company because they misspelled refreshment.
Interesting.
They went E before R, so it says Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Refreshment.
And, if it was just as simple as, we'll take it down off the electronic billboard, I probably wouldn't have told this story, except for the fact that they had submitted it across all of their digital platforms and all of their print platforms. So it wound up in the New York Times. It wound up in countless newspapers. It was online for a full day, and they got just deep roasted on how'd you not spell check a 3-word ad?
That is pretty bad. However,
how does that happen? Like, how does that get by that many people?
However, as the marketing guru or whatever, you're the marketing director for Molson Coors. Is there any way we could spin that into an ad campaign? Could we? The beer's so cold you can't speak right, and you just got a cold guy. It's great refreshment.
We can't spell, but we can drink. Mountain Cold Refreshment.
That's it. It's a Molson company, so you just have like some drunk Canadian in the ad that mispronounces it
with a moose.
With a moosin', yes.
You should put him next to the moose and have him apologizing, but not say what he's apologizing for, and have the moose look really sad.
Yeah.
And then at the end, sorry, we misspelled refreshment. Oh, I didn't think that's where that was headed.
Yep. All right, it is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Time for the Sportsocracy Flostradamus all-rookie team for 2025. Quarterback of your team has to be?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
It wasn't really close. If you had and just for posterity's sake, ESPN's Ben Solak put out his all-rookie team on the website. You can find that at ESPN.com. Who would be your 2?
Rookie quarterback? Probably Drake.
That's where Ben Solak was. That's where I would probably be.
Yeah. I would be at Drake. I mean, I know that sounds blasphemous for Bo Nix fans, but
it's not.
It's not.
I know it makes you angry, but it's not.
But he completed 80% of his passes.
That's because he threw most of them about 4 yards out of his hand.
So Jaden Daniels at quarterback. Bucky Irving's got to be your running back.
Yes, and the only one that was really – the only one that I'll say was really, really close was Tyrone Tracy. And he wasn't even really close. It was just, you deserve to be mentioned. I mean, have you looked at the high side of this running back class?
No.
Good Lord, it was terrible. Jonathan Brooks, who played a handful of games for the Panthers. Trey Benson, who didn't do much at all. Blake Corum, who was supposed to take carries from Kyron Williams. That didn't happen. Marshawn Lloyd, Jalen Wright. That was your top 5. Bucky Irving was at 6.
Yeah. Well, Marshawn didn't even play. He got hurt before the season started.
He did, but did he not play a little? I think he played a little bit.
Did he? I thought he got hurt in preseason.
He did. A.J. Dillon was hurt. Oh, yeah, he didn't play at all.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Might help if I looked at the regular season, not the postseason. Stupid. He played one game.
He played one game.
I thought I had seen him on a field. Yeah, he played one game.
Yeah, I know it didn't last long because that was one of those that I remember all of the dynasty football, dynasty fantasy football players freaking out because everybody poured so much stock into he's going to be the next one in Green Bay. What do you mean? They already have two in front of him.
Well, they only had one because A.J. Dillon got hurt. That's why they lost their minds about that. And Josh Jacobs has been hurt. Other names that I do think need to be mentioned, Ray Davis, who had a nice role with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Isaac Guerrero, who came in late for the 49ers. And then selfishly, I'm going to mention Braylon Allen, who had the third most yards in NFL history for a player that was only 20 years old.
Which was like 400 yards?
I don't know how many exactly he had, but I can find out pretty quick. Because he didn't have a whole lot of a role. As Braylon Allen had 334 yards rushing.
Okay, yeah, that's that. I was going to be shocked if it was any more than that because I don't remember him playing all that often.
He was also 17 for 17, converting 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1.
Nice. That's a great stat to have.
It is. I think he'll have a bigger role next year. I like him so much.
Yeah, especially after y'all trade Breece Hall.
We will not be trading Breece Hall. You take your shenanigans elsewhere.
All right, let's go wide receiver.
Okay. I was going to go tight end because that conversation should not last
let's do
for
that.
long.
Let's do that. Brock Bowers. Next.
End of message. Do you even know who the 2 on that list would be?
No clue. I have no clue.
Jatavian Sanders or A.J. Barner? Devin Culp, who played, 3 games for your team?
Yeah.
He'd be in the discussion.
He doesn't quite. With his 3-game appearance.
That should tell you everything you need to know. Yeah,
112 catches, almost 1,200 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns for Brock Bowers.
I do like that he ran away with it so much that the other tight ends just went, no, we're good. No. We don't even need to try.
Yep. All right, now let's do wide receivers.
This shouldn't really take any longer than the last one did.
Malik Neighbors.
Check.
Ladd McConkey.
Check.
Brian Thomas.
Check. And we're done. Jalen
McMillan.
Jalen McMillan
also
would be
receiving votes.
He received no votes.
No votes?
No one received votes. You have 3 spots and you have those 3. There's only 2 kinds of people that understand that and people that are out of their damn mind. If you left one of those first 3 off for Jalen McMillan, you don't get to vote anymore.
No, you couldn't.
The same thing with Marvin Harrison Jr. Probably the most disappointing rookie season I've ever seen.
Well, you can like the talent all you want to, but unless the actual production was there, sorry, and it wasn't. Especially compared to the 3 that were just studs from get-go. I mean, I feel like it took Brian Thomas a little while to come on, but when he did, man, it felt like he was scoring every week.
I mean, look, you got a lot of guys that at least deserve to be mentioned, and I would say that Jalen McMillan falls into that.
Yes.
I would say Roma Dunze falls into that. Keon Coleman, Xavier Worthy, and then the deeper cuts, Jalen Coker, Devin Vele. I'm going to stop there. I wanted to say Xavier Leggett, but I'm not going to.
Okay. You'll put Coker on that list, but not Leggett.
Well, because you got to look at snap count. Mm-hmm. Jalen Coker only played 11 games. Jalen Coker played 11 games. Xavier Leggett played 16. Coker had 19 less yards than him. Yeah. Yeah, I am going to look at that. And even in the games he played, he didn't really legitimately become the 2 until 5 or 6 games left in the season.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a Panther fan, I would be real excited about Jalen Coker.
I mean, that was found money.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was an undrafted free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he? Or did they take him very, very – no, he was an undrafted guy.
Yeah, he was undrafted. All right, hit me with the offensive line.
Yeah, I remember because I looked at him and went, how after what he did in the pre-draft process did he go undrafted? Anyway, offensive line. Do you have anybody that you feel like you need to be beating the drum for? Because there's one that's super obvious and another that's pretty obvious.
Joe Alt.
Joe Alt was the pretty obvious one.
Mm-hmm. JPJ?
Zach Frazier was the other one I was referring to.
Zach Frazier, okay.
JPJ played left guard.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun stat from that Solak article. How many left guards in the NFL took more than 200 snaps this year?
I guess it's very little.
It's 2. JPJ and Layden Robinson. So I'm going to cheat here. Name's on the door. I'm allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go a dedicated left guard. I'm going to go Zach Frazier. I'm going to go Graham Barton.
Okay.
I'm going to take Roger Rosengarten. And then I have to get an actual left tackle, and I'm not going to lie to you, there were parts that I liked about all 3 of them. Because you had Fuaga, you had Latham, you had Fashanu.
Mm-hmm.
Latham was the one that on tape I liked the least. Fashanu I probably liked the most, but he didn't play as much as Fuaga. So I left tackle will go Talizi Fuaga. And yes, I know I cheated and took 3 tackles. Names on the door, sue me.
That's right. We said offensive line. We didn't say it was.
Yeah, I don't do this
linear.
the NBA way of we have to take somebody that's not all that good just because they play a position that we need.
Yes.
Do you have any omission that you feel like I
don't. You covered Roger Rosengarten. That was he was on my list. Graham Barton deserves to be mentioned here. I don't know about making the team after that horrible snap fiasco at the end of the game the other day, but
that was in the playoffs. It doesn't count.
He did have a really good rookie season.
Well, he had a good rookie year. The thing that you have to understand about rookies is that rookies tend to come into the league and struggle mightily.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Barton put some good tape out. It wasn't consistent, and there were some things. Him as a run blocker left a lot to be desired to me. It does help when you have Cody Mauch, who that's the whole reason he's in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday to Cody, by the way. I just saw that earlier today.
If you had a Cody Mauch birthday shout-out on the show, your bingo card has a new dot on it. I didn't love a lot of the interior class. There's not even that many guys that I'm looking at going, they even really need to be mentioned. We did mention JPJ. He was absolutely god-awful as a run blocker, which shocked me. They also bounced him around between spots, which didn't make a ton of sense to me. Like, pick a spot and just go with it. I hate when you do that with rookies. If you want to bounce a guy between spots, bounce the veteran. And
but with the rookie, you're trying to find out
Parham,
which spot he's going to fill long-term, though, right?
I get it. It's a lost year. I don't like moving guys in that rookie year. I want you to get very acclimated to one thing. If I need to cross-train you and I've got you at guard, which is where they slotted him in from the jump. If I've got you at guard, I'm going to leave you at guard that first year. Now, if I want to try you at center next year, sure, I'll slide Dylan Parham over to guard. I don't want to do it the rookie year because I'm asking you to do so much. It's so much harder in the NFL than it is in college.
Right. Asking you to learn too much.
The one name that we haven't said yet, and I just have to mention this solely because I made fun of this pick a lot. And I can't tell you that I'm not going to say he's going to be a star or anything like that, but DJ Glaze was a guy that I made fun of a lot because I had a 7th-round grade on him. He came in and played pretty respectably for the Raiders.
That was the kid from Maryland, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The gigantic. He's like 6'5", 330.
Yes.
And I could not believe that any team would take him that high. And they took him over somebody else, and I can't now remember who that was. But I was dumbfounded. What exactly are you seeing here? A Christian Jones. That was the one. They took Delmar Glaze over Christian Jones. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I still really can't. But now after seeing what I've seen, yeah, that kid's more talented than I thought. He's one that I missed on.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville NFL Awards Day. The offensive rookies of the year, the all rookie team, offensive team. We'll do the defense coming up after the top of the hour, and we'll give you our all pro team as well coming up next.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double
clear,
double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
After 30 years of doing knee and hip replacements, Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup thought there had to be a better way, and that led him to regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it.
Now, after 20 years of successful orthobiologic treatments, lots of clinical data, research, and teaching, Dr. Scheinkup is National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
They've done an amazing job of becoming the most significant orthobiologic and regenerative medicine practice in the United States. QC is so far ahead of the game in its science, its protocols, its people, its facilities.
So if you have chronic pain from arthritis and you want to avoid drugs and surgery, call the experts in this revolutionary field, QC Kinetics.
To give patients real lasting relief from pain, that's what I live for. That's my mission.
Get your free consultation now. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
There will be gusty winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher.
Still got 2 minutes.
Advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshiny to high only hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries.
Oh!
A low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather on Sunday.
Probably going to bring Chris
Jeff
Spielman
Marv
with him
from
as
the
his
Weather
GM.
Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid.
I don't see a smile on your face.
Talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect
coach.
for instant content.
Yeah.
Parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
This is a story of the one.
That's not
As a
confirmed
maintenance
yet, but it is
specialist
from
for
somebody.
university housing, he knows college.
Wow. All right.
Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he
Bleacher
needs
Report put
so he
something
doesn't
out
have to. From a new door
Glenn
hinge to a
prefers
whole
the
new
Jets to
faucet.
the Saints,
Call,
and
click
so
Grainger.com,
went
or
down
just stop
right
by. Grainger.
Gotcha.
Who get it done.
At Haywood Regional Medical Center, your health means everything. In an emergency, every minute matters. Get to the hospital and
I
get
figured
the
I'd
care
say it
that
here
you
on
need
the
as soon
YouTube
as
where I
possible.
can't get in trouble
Haywood
for
Regional's emergency
saying
department
it,
provides quality care,
unconfirmed,
including
so they
advanced
can hear
heart
it.
care at their 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your health is nothing to wait for. For more information and to check average ER wait times, visit myhaywoodregional.com. That's myhaywoodregional.com.
We have three.
We're starting 2025 with
Okay.
Zero Res. Call to get 3 rooms of carpet.
We'll hit those first and then do the defensive rookie team.
In Asheville, you'll get a hallway clean for free. Schedule online at zeroresasheville.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
You got to get in to win. Go to ESPNAVL.com and good luck.
The Sportsocracy.
Fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the dumbassery of the day here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app, and you can watch us live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. Don't forget to follow us on all of the social medias at the Sportsocracy. Today is NFL Awards Day here on the show. We've been rolling through the individual awards, the all rookie teams. Just did the offense. We'll do the defense in just a minute or two. Also choosing the all pros for this year in the NFL. But first, before we get to all of that, Jeremy, we've got a few super chats to clean up from the YouTube.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, the first one's from Jonathan Welch, who said we need MMA fighters at Eagles games in other teams' jerseys. Based on what happened with a lot of things that have happened in that stadium, I understand that sentiment. Just throw John Jones out there in a I can't. My brain just blanked on who they're playing this week. I got 3 NFC teams. I cannot think of the fourth.
Who the Eagles are playing
Yes.
this weekend? They're playing the Rams.
The Rams. Good Lord,
Yes.
have mercy. That Monday game screws me up.
Like, that took a while.
My brain just went full control alt delete of I've gone through every team in the NFC and they're all eliminated.
Right. This was because of the Eagles fan that was harassing the Packers fan during this last week's games. I've seen the screenshots and just saw that he got in trouble. I mean, does he deserve all this? Because this dude's being like canceled and outed and all the things.
Yes.
He deserved every bit of it.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, just
when
curious.
Eagles fans turn on you, you did something B-A-D-D bad.
Real bad.
They booed Santa Claus. Think about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
For Matthew Hoffman, so mobile quarterbacks are starting to be figured out in the NFL. I don't agree with that sentiment in any way. Y'all were discussing running back stats earlier. 3 running backs with 16 or more touchdowns, etc. Will running backs be the next big draft push or wide receivers or something else? You're going to see a lot of running backs go in this class because a lot of teams are looking around going, oh, it helps to have that bell cow guy. It also helps that running back is particularly strong in this class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've only got a couple bell cow guys. Mm-hmm. But there are 2 that I have. I mean, I got 2 running backs in my top 25, which I didn't really think I would ever do that again. And you got a handful of more that I think can be legit starters in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb Johnson's a legit starter in the NFL. I think Dylan Sampson's a legit starter in the NFL. You got 2 Ohio State guys that I'm not sure either one of them's ever more than a committee guy, but I think they can be the head of a committee. And then Nick Singleton from Penn State and Cam Scadaboo.
Well, Singleton's coming back.
Singleton is coming back?
He's coming back to school.
Oh, that makes me sad. Why are you coming back? Don't come back. You're running back. You're getting drafted. Let's do stuff. Come on.
He wants to come back. He wants to win. Him and Drew Aller want to go for the Big Ten championship again.
It makes me so sad.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I think you'll see a big push for running backs this year. You'll probably see more in the first 4 rounds than you've seen the last handful of years. Wide receivers been a huge push. But at this point, quarterbacks have to be mobile. If you're not mobile to some point, you're going to really struggle in this league. That's one of the problems I have with Shedeur Sanders is that he's not.
Well, that he can be, but he doesn't. He has the physical tools to be one.
I don't think he has the physical tools to be one.
Really?
I don't think he's a very
he's
mobile guy.
Not fast enough?
I don't think he's a very mobile guy. If he was, at some point, I would have seen it. Now, what's entirely likely is that he has a pro day where he shows, oh, look, I can throw on the – I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't care. I know what you are. I've seen it on tape. You're not going to dupe me. You are what you are.
All right, and one more super chat.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
From Sir Jimothy, which quarterback is the next Colt McCoy between last year's draft class and this one and the last 2? Hyped to be great, but long, mediocre career. Not hated, but back up for life. I don't know that Colt McCoy was ever hyped to be great. Yeah, Colt McCoy was exactly what we thought he would be. Now, as for the guy that's going to be drafted like he's a franchise guy and probably has a career like that, Quinn Ewers declared today he was the first name that came to my mind. Kyle McCord kind of falls into that too. I think both those guys will have decently long NFL careers. I just don't think they'll be as starters.
Right. Fair enough. Let's get into the defensive all-rookie team.
Oh, you know what? I missed the obvious answer there. Quarterback that was that we were told was great, but it's going to be a long-term NFL backup. Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo
Nix.
He'll be relinquished to the bench sooner rather than later.
Yeah, Bo Nix. If he had the ability, he'd probably punch me right in the face. Only problem is I've stood next to him and I make him look like a weedle boy.
He's the next one to ban you on Twitter. Just wait.
That's fine. Baker Mayfield did it. I've gotten a lot of traction out of it too.
He's your new Baker Mayfield.
he's not nearly as annoying. Bo Nix looks like he would come door to door selling Kirby vacuum cleaners. His face doesn't off-put me as much as Baker's does.
All right, the 2024 all-defensive rookie team starts with who on the defensive line? Defensive rookie of the year?
Well, I mean, we'll just start with the edge guys because I don't think there's even – for me, there's not even a debate in this. It's Jared Verse and it's Chop Robinson. I mean, Jonah Ellis, I guess we could talk about. Leatu Latu, okay. I mean, he's not passing either one of you. But, okay, we can talk about him.
Yep. We can they can be also mentioned. Others receiving votes.
Hey, you're fun. You're doing stuff. It's nice. I mean, Latu had – I'll tell you a stat that's just mind-boggling. How few sacks you had from high-end draft prospects. Verse had 4.5. Chop had 6. Latu had 4. And then you look at all these other guys that, we talked a lot about. You just didn't get a lot of guys that got home regularly.
Still figuring things out. And Jared Verse.
There is one, but we'll talk about him in a minute.
Okay. Jared Verse showed he was on another level, like really quickly when he came in. I remember it didn't take long in the season for us to figure out, so those 2 Florida State guys that the Rams took. Yeah, this is going to be just fun.
Yeah, they're real
between
good
him and Braden Fiske.
Yeah, they're real good at football, and they should get more love than they get.
No doubt. 50 run stops for Jared Verse in this season?
Yeah.
That feels very Vita Vea-esque.
I mean, it's not that high. He's an edge, but he's up there with the best of the best. I told you in the pre-draft process, Jared Verse is the guy that the Atlanta Falcons are going to regret they didn't take. We took Michael Penix, and now we got 2 quarterbacks. We got a solution forever. Yeah, you could have had that edge rusher that you really wanted. Jared Verse will be on my card for the Senior Bowl this year. If he'd have been on your team. Congratulations.
All right, how about the interior of the defensive line? Who are the best rookies?
This, to me, is every bit as easy as the edge rushers. Tavondre Sweat is the most obvious. He played more than I thought he would. That was really the only knock I ever heard anybody have on him, is that he's so big. He's not going to be able to play a high-level snap count. He played over 700 snaps this year.
Wow. A guy that pushes like 370
He's 360.
something? Are you sure?
He slimmed down a little bit when he got to Tennessee.
Are you sure?
He looked a little more svelte than when I saw him at the Senior Bowl last year.
All right, and next to him?
Oh, it's Braden Fiske. 8.5 sacks as a rookie. And I get it. He's a 3-4 end. I'm cheating a little bit here. Byron, that was the second part of that stat of what I said about Tavondre Sweat. Byron Murphy missed 3 games. He grand total barely played 500 snaps. And we talked about how he was in elite shape, and that was one of the beauties of him, is that he's an every down guy. He played just north of 500 snaps. Tavondre Sweat, that you were worried about, he can't stay out there. It's Sweat and Fiske, and I'll be honest with you, that one wasn't really close either. Byron Murphy was good. Johnny Newton was good, but they're not as good as the other 2.
All right, how about the second line, the linebackers?
I only went 2 linebackers because I really think there's It's Edgerrin Cooper and Omar Speights. I considered going 3 and going Peyton Wilson, but there's so many corners that I want to talk about that I kind of just cheated.
Yeah.
Edgerrin Cooper may be the best defensive player the Green Bay Packers have.
On a team that has Jair Alexander.
Yeah. I said what I said. And Xavier McKinney. I'm not sure that Edgerrin Cooper's not the best player they have.
Yeah.
He doesn't play the same level of snaps. And actually, you know what? I am going to cheat. I'm going to throw Peyton Wilson on there too because I think he deserves to be talked about.
All right, his rookie year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, pretty impressive to you.
You knew he would be. He was a guy we talked about for a full round at the draft of, I get it, he's got a knee issue. You don't know how long he's going to play. You don't know exactly what you're getting. But, I mean, how many times over the last handful of weeks of the season were you watching that Steelers defense and went, hey, it's Peyton Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's Peyton Wilson. He was the 15th highest-rated linebacker in the NFL this year.
Wow.
And now I'll go a step further. Would you like to hear his snap counts?
Yes.
He played 9 snaps on the defensive line, 463 as a box linebacker, 34 as a slot corner, 14 as the wide corner, 93 on kick coverage, 85 on kick return, 76 on punt coverage, 63 on punt return.
Let's go, young man.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Hey, that's the one thing that we everybody was talking about with Peyton Wilson coming into the draft and in the draft process. I mean, we saw him at the combine, and he lit up all of the tests, all the on the field tests, and it was this kid's got a chance to do something special. And the injury issues kind of pushed him back in draft order. And when the Steelers took him, I can remember us saying, "Well, of course."
Of course,
the Pittsburgh Steelers ended up with him.
Of course they did, and he fits what they do. He's a super talented kid. The final one is Omar Speights, a third defensive rookie from the Los Angeles Rams. He gives you virtually nothing on third down, but in terms of just against the run linebacker first 2 downs, he's really good.
Wow. All right, you said you got a lot of corners to talk about?
I do. Yeah, let's take a break.
Well,
we'll discuss those after the break.
Absolutely. The Sportsocracy all-rookie defensive team continues after this. We'll talk about the secondary. And clear.
A Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. That tickles. Stop.
It feels like...
What is that?
A long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox. Clean...
He's doing stuff with his dog.
Use as directed.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts.
That's the kind of guy that pee on a handrail.
And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next 2 combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, iHeart can extend your message.
No, I was just making fun of that commercial.
Can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and...
Yes, sir.
Call 844-844-iHeart to get started. That's 844-844-iHeart.
I'm at a smoothie bar, asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery.
Yeah, Gambit, I don't think they have enough demented people in the production department because they get crazy with some of these sound effects, and those don't sound like what you want them to sound like.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. I would like to introduce you to some of our very own Parks community heroes, like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts, like Jeff and Chris, who led a fleet of Ford commercial vehicles throughout the night, delivering supplies with emergency services to all corners of the county and first responders. Nominate your community hero at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing and
That's Points Gambit fan. Most definitely.
AVL.com or ShowtimeSportsAVL.com. That's MTN Graphics AVL.com or ShowtimeSportsAVL.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer coming to you live from the Ingalls studio. Jeremy Green live at Mullet Manor. We're talking about at ESPN Draft Nerds all rookie team from 2024. The defensive side in the secondary, he's got lots of corners that he wants to talk about, and I will guarantee you the first one he wants to talk about is Quinion Mitchell.
Of course it is.
His biggest home run.
Why wouldn't it
be? His latest biggest home run from the NFL draft.
Well, I mean, I don't even really like taking credit for that one because I feel like anybody with an IQ above salad dressing should have seen that coming. I mean, he absolutely dominated the Senior Bowl last year. It was comical how guys were trying to avoid him. Then he comes into the NFL, and hey, weird, he's real good too, but he's not the only good rookie on his own team. Cooper DeJean playing out of the slot, yeah. He was pretty good too.
Yes, he was.
And didn't even really play until week 6. Philadelphia just does what Philadelphia does. Hey, let's go just get dogs that are going to end up being stars for us that everybody else passes on.
Mm-hmm. So Quinion's 1, Cooper's 2?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said that there were 2 that needed to be discussed on the same team. I'm not so sure. I don't know what order I would have them in. There's no doubt that Quinion would be my 1.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have to talk about Kamari Lassiter with the Houston Texans.
No doubt.
Because he's gotten better with time.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's really getting into a sweet spot of that dude's not real fun to go up against.
No, and think how dangerous that's going to be if, Stingley took a step forward this year and he's becoming or getting closer to that elite status. Kamari's going to be a year right behind him, or maybe they hit their strides at the same time. The defense that's being built in Houston is going to be terrifying.
Oh, yeah. You give that team a little bit of time,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to be outrageously good.
Mm-hmm. Because they're still going to be able to get after you, and heck, they've got another rookie on that team that was really good in the back half.
Oh, yeah, I believe we'll be talking about him real soon.
That's why I didn't say his name, because I figured he'd be coming up in the safety discussion.
Yeah, we'll be talking about him real soon.
Right.
Do you realize how many guys that were just absolute dogs this year at corner are rookies?
There were quite a few.
Of the top 25.
Tarheeb Steele.
Mm-hmm. All right, so according to PFF, they grade corners, and as I've said before, I don't love it, but it is a nice, concise way to do this.
Mm.
Do you know how many of their top 25 were rookies?
Probably 5, 6.
Tyke Smith was 25. Nate Wiggins was 24. Kamari Lassiter was 22. Quinyon Mitchell was 19. Tarheeb Steele was tied for 17 with Jair Alexander. Cooper DeJean was 9. Andrew Phillips was 7. And Andrew Phillips isn't even on my list.
Right.
And he was really good.
So that's 7 of the top 25. We're all rookie corners.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
It might be the greatest corner class of all time.
It's up there.
It's got to be.
It's up there. Let's see. Notorious B.I.G. asked where Kool-Aid McKinstry was. I did not see him on this list, but I know he is here somewhere. He was playing really well by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
He was 53. But in terms of coverage grade, he was 45.
Did you say Mike Sainer still?
So the ironic part of this, Sandra Strill is at 54, and I hadn't even said him yet.
Right. He was one that you mentioned, or one that you didn't list in that list, and I thought he played that well.
He's definitely up there. Cam Hart's definitely up there. I haven't even said Renardo Green yet.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot. If I had to pick 3, I will go Quinyon Mitchell. I will go Kamari Lassiter. I will go Mike Sainristrell. And the tiebreaker was not that I don't think Cooper DeJean belonged. He didn't play the first 6 games.
Okay.
He was fantastic the last 11 weeks, but he did not play the first 6 weeks.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right, let's go safeties.
Here we have much less to talk about. Cam Kinchens was my no doubt one.
Mm-hmm.
That's your 4th defensive all rookie team for the Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
He was our number 1 safety in the class. I thought he really brought a lot to the Rams. He just always seemed to be around the ball. And, I mean, he's not even a base personnel starter. He's just really good.
Yep. End of the year with 4 interceptions, 36 tackles. But the 4 interceptions, that'll get you on every highlight list.
And he's another one that he didn't really – I mean, he had played less than 100 total snaps going into Week 9. He really came on at about the halfway point of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really good time for me to explain something that I think this every draft year, and I want to make sure I get this on tape. So every single year when we look at guys and we critique their tape and, they didn't run the 40 that fast, or, their 3-cone shuttle wasn't that fast, some guys are just football players. How many times did we say Cameron Kinchen's name in the pre-draft last year?
It was a bunch.
You know why? Because this safety class was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody passed on him, and he fell like a rock all the way down to I can't even remember exactly where they drafted him, but 99 overall. And look at how many guys he wound up being better than.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills took Cole Bishop at 60. And look, I don't have a problem with Cole Bishop. I really don't. I think he's going to end up being a fine player in the NFL. But if you're telling me you can't see the difference between those two, I really can't help you very much.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the second safety spot?
I think it de facto has to be Kalen Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that other Houston Texan.
It's either him or Malik Mustafa, which is another guy we talked about a lot. Kid out of Wake Forest but he's so short. Yeah, I don't care. I know this year I am dedicated to the, he's short, he's slow. Yeah, I'm not doing that. What did the tape say? Oh, okay, that's what he is.
Yeah. Did the tape tell me he can play in this league? Then there's your answer.
You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm not going. I will go Malik Mustafa. I can't bring myself to put Kalen Bullock on this team. He was absolutely terrible.
Terrible.
In coverage, he was awful. He got picked on routinely. I can't do it. I can't physically bring myself to say it. I'm going Malik Mustafa, not Kalen Bullock.
So he's the Trayvon Diggs of this class. Is that what you're saying?
Well, Kalen Bullock,
he gets stats, but
he's a box guy. He's a box guy that's being asked to do something he's not real comfortable in. He played over 1,000 snaps this year. I never would have seen that coming. I never thought he was that guy. And I mean, would you like to hear the list of safeties that had worse coverage grades than Kalen Bullock?
Yes.
Would you like to hear it again?
Really?
Because there aren't any.
Last in the league.
He's not a good coverage guy. Oh, that's not true. There was one. Sorry, it was hidden because he didn't qualify. I had a qualifier on snaps. Kyle Duggar.
We could have done without you mentioning him. Doesn't look kindly on the local guy.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel better, Marcus Williams was right in front of them, who I at one time thought was the best safety in the NFL.
He was.
That did not translate well.
He was when he was in New Orleans.
He has not been in Baltimore, though.
No.
If you pull up his profile on any of these analytics websites, it's so funny to see him graded as number 6, number 7, number 4, number 7, 98 of 98 safeties. Dead freaking last.
Wow.
In his age 28 season.
Anybody else you want to mention for safeties?
Oh, not really, because it's just bad. Bad.
Evan Williams makes a great whiskey. It's an okay whiskey.
I was about to say, Evan Williams, if that's a great whiskey, I now trust your tasted whiskey less than I trust your tasted movies.
I shouldn't have said great.
Evan Williams is legitimately the worst whiskey I've ever put in my mouth. It also led to the closest to death I've ever come.
If you drink enough of it, yes.
I was talking to people. That's how close I was.
I was drinking 120 proof Evan Williams.
He died in 1997. I was talking to him in 2007. No, he was good too. I put the other two ahead of him.
Okay. All right, there you have it. Your all-rookie defensive class. You got any objections, you can put them in the YouTube comments, or you could just hit him up at ESPN Draft Nerd on the Twitter machine.
You'll be able to hit me up on many more places as of Friday when NFLDraft.net goes live.
Yep. And when we come back from the break, we'll touch on the All-Pros as well to close it out here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen.
And we're clear.
Forecast on ESPN Asheville.
There will be gusty winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher elevations where a wind advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshine at a high hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries can't be ruled out tomorrow night with a low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather.
Sorry, what'd you say?
I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Bojangles. It's bow time.
Oh, shoot.
Bojangles has your morning craving covered with any of our classic made-from-scratch biscuits and a side of bow rounds for just $5. Cajun filet biscuit and bow rounds, $5. Sausage, egg, and cheese plus bow rounds, $5. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
FEMA help is available to Helene survivors who are unable to stay in their home. If you are living in a hotel or temporary shelter, you may be eligible for additional funds for moving and storage costs for essential personal property. For more information, visit a disaster recovery center to find a center near you. Visit FEMA.gov/DRC or call 800-621-FEMA. Again, that's 800-621-3362.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for this year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is January 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
Dan Scott here, inviting you to check out my new show every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. here on ESPN.
That was just for you.
Sports and faith together. The Dan Scott Show, 8 a.m. Sundays on ESPN Asheville.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. And it is time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Green.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. They do crimes in Minnesota, apparently. I mean, crimes are done everywhere.
That's because I'm no longer the governor.
When you
when I was governor, no one did crimes. Then they left me down in the Baja for too long. They had old horsey Tim up here for too long.
Mr. Governor, I think you might have to institute some sort of a rule, kind of like Carnival Cruise Lines has created.
Yeah. Is this a penal problem?
This is pineapple shenanigans happening up in Shakopee, Minnesota.
I mean, it says it in the name.
It really does. I mean, you can't really expect anything but weird things to take place in a place called Shakopee. I'm not touching the handrails in Shakopee. I guarantee you that.
I'm not touching the shack in Shakopee either.
Yeah, apparently. So there was there's an investigation being done as to a couple of deaths that occurred at a motel at the Baymont Inn, which I feel like
that name alone tells me that's not a place I want to lay my head.
It's the Baymont by Wyndham. Don't
you put Wyndham on that. Wyndham's too good for the Baymont. No. the Baymont.
No,
is
but this is
that's a place that you rent your room by the hour.
Right, but this is the lower end. This is like the value brand of Wyndham hotels.
Great piece of advice from somebody that's traveled a lot. If you see the word value in the name of your hotel, it's a good place for you to die. Possibly with your kidneys no longer in your body.
I will bet you that you could get a room at the Baymont Inn or the Baymont by Wyndham in Shakopee, Minnesota for $12 a night.
Per hour, yes.
Per hour. I like that. So on New Year's Day, about 8:15, police were called to a welfare check at the Baymont by Wyndham Hotel. There they found 2 deceased individuals who had been there for a swingers party. And if this is not proof that swingers parties are killing people, then I don't know what else. I don't know what else you need. No more pineapples in the state of Minnesota.
I have a rule at parties like that. I have to be the largest individual there. My story is about 2 young criminals that are not necessarily very bright. This comes from Corte Madera, which is somewhere close to Oakland.
Okay.
4 teenage girls stole $7,500 in fragrances and cosmetics from a store 2 weeks ago. The crime was reported on December 20th. It was about 6:30 p.m. from the Corte Madera Town Center. They allegedly filled large bags with perfumes and cosmetics and then walked out, and no one stopped them. But it's not the thievery that I'm stuck on. It's how they got away. Tank, what's the dumbest thing you could possibly do when you know definitively you have been caught on tape thieving?
Mm-hmm.
What's the dumbest way you could get home?
Oh, the dumbest way?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess call a cab.
Actually dumber than that, because a cab is not necessarily digital. Uber, on the other hand, is, and that's what they did. They ordered an Uber. Not only did they order an Uber, they ordered an Uber that took each one of them home.
Oh, beautiful.
So it went to each one of their addresses.
Yes.
Which made it very easy for the police department to go beep, boop, boop. The
Mapped
4
it out
girls,
for us.
3 of the suspects, 15 years old, the 4th, 13.
Oh, well, that explains it.
They need to write their life of crime, not be into the thievery, and they need to not do crimes. And if they're going to do crimes, which they shouldn't do, but if they do, don't call Uber.
Yeah.
You know, they keep a list of where you've been, you moron.
Mm-hmm. That's that. We're not putting that out there. That's not a public statement from the Sportsocracy. We don't condone doing crimes, so being a smarter criminal is not encouraged.
No, because, I mean, we have to have stories for this segment. We need 2 of them a day. So, yes. I mean, just keep being real stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I also had another story about it was oddly enough also from California, about a man that was wielding a knife in a prison. And when they took him down, they searched him and found a full-on meth pipe in the prison wallet.
Oh, fun.
Don't keister glass things.
Mm-mm.
Good way to wind up with a cut where you don't want to cut.
Yes. That is going to cause more than just a fissure.
It's a funny word. I don't know what it means exactly, but it's a funny word.
I'll let you Google it. I won't tell you what that is.
I don't think I want to Google that from my computer. It might put me on a list.
It won't. It won't. Although WebMD may convince you that you have one when you may not.
I don't go to WebMD.
Good
see,
for
for
you.
me, if I'm going to die, I want to be surprised. Oh, that's what got me. I would not have thought that.
Oh, good Lord. Jeremy's not one of those that you have to keep off of the WebMD. He's not the one, hey, maybe I have such and such. He does not care.
I'm actually the exact opposite of that. I have a pain. I won't even take Tylenol for it. Like, hey, this is the one that takes me down. I probably did something to deserve it.
Then this is the one that takes me down.
I don't like the medicines. Not a fan of big pharma, if you will.
Right. Overall message: don't do crimes. It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. To be fair, we do not have ample time here left in the hour or in the program here to get deep into the all-pro teams. So we'll push the all-pro teams to tomorrow. News came out earlier today I guess the story came out earlier today. Micah Parsons, quote, devastated over the firing or the inability of the Dallas Cowboys to retain Mike McCarthy. He's already been outspoken about how bad this team was at times with Mike McCarthy. I find it odd that he would be one of the ones to come out and defend this move. Did you find it strange?
No, because this happens all the time, and this is one of the reasons that I don't love the fact so many of these guys have podcasts, because that's where this came from. It was on the Edge podcast.
Yep.
The quote was, "I'm obviously very sad because of the relationships we had with Coach McCarthy and everything he's done for our program. 3 straight 12-5 seasons, playoff appearances, and obviously an unfortunate year due to injuries. It is devastating." Micah, I don't think you understand how injuries work. You were headed down the highway to hell before the injuries because your team's just not very good. I mean, you started what? I don't even remember how bad they started. 2-3-7. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Well, Dak Prescott played 8 games, so it's a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not shocked, especially with the way it was handled, where you knocked him off from being able to interview with the Bears. You wouldn't grant them permission to talk to him, and then you just fired him. It's a bad look.
I mean, I guess as a player, you're living the roller coaster more than anybody, right? Are we going to have? Is Mike going to be back? Is Mike not going to be back? And if you're seeing the signs in the building, right, you're closer to it. As confused as we were about what happened, I can imagine there was a lot of confusion in that locker room as well. Of what exactly are we doing? Okay, we told one team they couldn't interview him, and then we just didn't. And then we just didn't. Right? Because the statement from Jerry Jones, did it not say that we decided before we even went down the road of talking about how long an extension would be, where we just went, you know what, this is good. We're just backing away. Both go in our separate ways. Like, to me, that sounds like it was way far. Like, you guys were so far apart, but you couldn't in the moment allow the Bears to interview. See, when Jerry came out and said that they were, or when the announcement came out that they weren't going to let him talk to the Bears, and Jerry had made the statement to the media, I think it was the same day, or it was like right before, or a day before, they said they wouldn't allow the Bears to talk to him, that if Mike McCarthy wanted to talk to somebody else, Jerry said, I'm going to let him go talk because I don't want people here that don't want to be here. So when they said no to the Bears, that sent the signal in my brain that, oh, well, him and Mike must have talked, and Mike said he's all in. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. So it led me down the path of, well, I guess Mike McCarthy's coming back. And then you pull the rug out. It was all very confusing to the public. I could imagine it was much more confusing to the players.
It's a rough time in Dallas, but I'm sure Deion Sanders will be able to pull all the things together.
And of course, then my mind goes to Micah Parsons sticking around in Dallas, keeping him happy. Does this play into that? Is this another fracture, possibly?
It could. Look, Dallas got a lot of personalities and not a ton of talent. That's a really bad combination.
Mm-hmm. We're getting closer and closer to the moment where we're gonna hear the announcement that Deion Sanders is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And I think that makes us all feel warm.
It's gonna be a good moment. I'm looking forward to it. Cowboy fans shouldn't be, but I am a lot.
I feel like Cowboys fans are gonna love it.
Really?
I do. I don't you? You don't think that there are Dallas Cowboys fans that are going, yeah, this is the answer. This is the one that's going to bring us back.
I have talked to, or at least seen comments from probably 1,000 Cowboy fans in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a positive yet.
Not a single one.
Not a single one. Because people know. They know exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm. Did you listen to Stephen A. Smith the other day talking about how Deion's the only one that could be above Jerry? Deion's the only personality that could handle Jerry Jones and put Jerry Jones in his place. And tell him to stay out of the football stuff.
I heard it. I also put absolutely no stock into it.
I didn't either. I was curious if you thought there was truth to that. Because
no.
I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like once you get behind closed doors, Jerry will not be afraid to tell Deion what's up.
Jerry Jones he didn't cede control to Bill Parcells, who's one of the greatest head coaches that's ever lived. He even tried to micromanage him. Yeah, I struggle to believe that just because a guy played corner and he's a big personality for the Cowboys, all of a sudden we're going to give him all the respect he deserves. No, to me, it's obvious. I said this when they fired McCarthy. It's obvious to me that Jerry has somebody in mind that he does not think there will be interest in from other parties, and that's the reason he's doing this at a snail's pace. It's because he doesn't care. If I'm not worried about anybody else hiring the guy, I don't have to move quickly.
Yeah.
I got 3 full weeks here before really anything of any magnitude happens. Because your scouting staff goes to the Senior Bowl. That's not going to change regardless. No matter who the head coach is, that doesn't really matter. You're still going to have those same guys because they put the board together. So now you're going to have to shoehorn your board into what the coach needs. But those things happen in March. I mean, there's a reason teams are hiring coaches later and later because it just doesn't really matter that much. Speaking of time frame, did you happen to see the probably the best news I've seen come out of college football in the last 4 years?
What's that?
The FBS coaches were at the all 100 and I think it was 130 of them. They were at the American Football Coaches Association convention, and they unanimously voted that they would for a proposal that would reduce college football's transfer window down to a single 10-day period in January. Now, the funny part of this is it still doesn't cure the problem that you think it does.
I was going to say, are we going to push that after the championship?
No, it's January 2nd to the 12th. I mean, but see, that's the problem, is that you've got to have, if these guys are going to transfer, they've got to be able to get into school. School year largely starts January 16th. So, I mean, you can't really carry it any further than that.
Right. Got to be enrolled at the start of the semester.
The calendar's just broken.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a push, I believe it was maybe yesterday, that there was a push for Army-Navy to be moved to the first week of the season. Start the year with it instead of ending the year with it.
That could be good. That'd be your highlight for week 0.
Yeah, I'm good. I want it to stay where it is, but I think you can start the bowl season. I don't think you need to wait for that game.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about instead of just having that as the only standalone game that week, that's where we start the playoffs.
I'm also completely in favor of starting college football the first week of August.
Yes. You start the first week. If you started the first week of August, yes, I mean, there are going to be just some brutal games. I mean, you only have to put up with a couple of weeks of that for the most part, like in the Deep South. You hope, right? Best case scenario. But if you did that, then you could have it to where the season, the championship, can line up there with New Year's or that week after, right? If you had it the week after New Year's, so that second week of January, and then maybe that would line up more with the transfer portal. I just feel like you need to have the season over before dudes start jumping.
For sure. I mean, and that's a problem. It's a problem, and it's a problem the NCAA doesn't really seem inclined to do anything about.
Yeah. All right, that's going to do it for us here in the Sportsocracy. Please, we will welcome you back tomorrow.
There it is.
I don't know where that was. I'm starting all over. We'll just start the tape over. Let's do it again.
I don't have 3 hours left in me, so we need to not do that.
We need to not do that. We'll wrap it up, and we will be back with you tomorrow at noon right here on ESPN Asheville, also on the iHeartRadio app and the YouTube's live from the Ingalls studio. We'll see you then.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part?
Welcome to the end of the program, ladies and gentlemen.
Place like this?
Welcome to the end.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the time.
Or maybe that's how we should start ending the show. That's the end of the show. You're welcome.
Come back.
Bingo.
I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WPEK. That's code WPEK for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
If you or a loved one have been a victim of crime, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety Office of Victim Compensation Services provides programs to help you find peace of mind. We are here to help you apply for benefits that you may qualify for to recover from hardships such as lost wages and medical expenses. To learn more, visit ncdps.gov/4victims. That's ncdps.gov/4VICTIMS.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
There will be gusty winds at times out of the north today, especially in the higher elevations where a wind advisory will be in effect. Otherwise, sunshine at a highly hitting 37. Tonight, clear, the low dipping into the upper teens. Plenty of sun tomorrow with gusty winds out of the northwest at a high of 45. A little bit of light snow or a few flurries can't be ruled out tomorrow night with a low near 24. Expect sunshine Friday with a high of 52. And then a wet start to the weekend on Saturday before drier weather on Sunday. I'm Jeff Marr from the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for University Housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm at the movies, asking people if they'll switch seats with me for $574.
Here, take mine.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
Man, too much work.
Not if you call them. They handle the switching.
Now, that's a plot twist.
Shh. Check Allstate first, and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.